You're listening to the No Tekkers podcast.
No Tekkers podcast.
No Tekkers.
What? Man said Bon Gerard. Is it
The No Tekkers podcast.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
Episode 63, the No Tekkers podcast. I'm your host, Braz. I got my co-host here, Chief,
Bon the stats.
Mr. Bon the Stats. And then I got my other co-host, Sunday League Settings, man like Faz.
There.
And we got a special guest in the building today.
The big dog.
The legend himself, Karl Hawley. Welcome.
Yo, man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
How you doing, man?
All good, man. How are you?
I can't complain, man. It's, COVID and them things. Stay safe in these streets, B. So yeah, man, thanks for coming on. Obviously wanted to have a football conversation, pick your mind a bit, and see how we got on in. Well, no quiz, sorry.
I'm buzzing about that too.
We've got something else in
Yeah. We got Faz's new section, so yeah, man, you can pick your brain with that. So yeah, let's get straight into it then. So where did it all start for you? Was you picked from the academies straight away, or was you just how did you get into football?
I was quite a late starter.
When you say late, what do you mean?
Like at school, I never really played.
Really?
Like kind of junior school, I never really played.
Okay.
Like they see me kicking a ball in the playground, and I was just too shy and reserved.
Yeah.
And then the PE teacher managed to convince me to play, and then
It's always the case,
it was one of them. I just found it easy. It was just easy. Everything was natural, and I just was scoring goals left, right, and centre. So it started. I think I was about, I don't know, quite late for like a young lad to play football. But then I progressed into School of Excellence back then. I started off at Warsaw, and I was there from I think under 10s, 11s, all the way through. I got my first pro contract when I turned, I think, 18.
Wow. What was that like? How was that conversation?
Weird. Like the manager at the time was Ray Graydon, and if you ever heard of this guy, he's just militant, like,
old school,
proper old school.
Yeah.
Hated young lads. Like
Really?
used to just punish us left, right, and centre. So it was coming up to decision time, and I knocked on the youth team manager's door. And I
Oh,
was
you
like,
actually went to the door and said,
yeah, because it was.
so you're not a shy young boy no more.
Nah. I'm scoring goals, man.
He's bagging by now. So my confidence is up.
No, but I had a good relationship with the youth team manager, Mick Halsall. Top man, like proper, made me believe in myself when I kind of lacked that, and I knew that I needed it, but I just needed him, like kind of to believe in me. And I think I carried that all the way through my career. Like I needed the manager to believe in me. If I didn't have that, then it kind of took away from my game.
So it was more like an arm around the shoulder rather than
No, I could take a battering, but I need you to
the confidence element of it.
to play me in it. I need you to play me and just be like, just have 5 games and do your thing. Like I believe in you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I knocked on his door, and Ray Graydon was in there, and I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, oh, Mick, I'll come back later. He's like, no, come on. What is it? And I was like, oh, I just wanted to know what was going on. Am I going to get a contract or whatever? And Ray Graydon just looked at me and he was like, are you going to work hard? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, that's what I do. I work hard, and I got the right attitude and things like that. And he was like, I'll give you a chance, son. And that was the conversation. Like, it was mad simple like that.
It's pretty easy back then.
Nah, it was hard back then, you know.
No, but I
It's
think
easy now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely easier now.
Swear to God, it's easier now.
You can get signed off a YouTube clip now.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I might have to start
Because you can't
charging
say
people for these clips soon.
you can't say that was easy, because prior to that, like, this guy's got us running 10 laps of the football pitch in 60 seconds, and if you can't run no more, you got to run some more.
Yeah. This was before like the safeguarding and all
This
the
was-
whole
yeah,
health
we
and
got
safety.
safeguarding
into
didn't
football.
exist.
Yeah, it didn't
Abuse.
exist then. Yeah.
One of the first managers, Chris Nichols, I think his name is, Irish dude.
Okay.
he used to line the defenders up on the 18-yard box, no, 6-yard box, and have the balls on the 18-yard box and blast them at them, and just be like, head it, like,
I've
block
actually
it.
done that session.
With him.
No, at Blues.
Serious. Who was the
Steve
manager?
Bruce.
And he would do it himself.
Swear down. No concussion
So you
safety.
think that- onset dementia.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Like,
wow.
Yeah, I should see
but
him
he used
still.
to do it himself. Though. This manager used to be like,
Front line.
no, get out of the way. That's not
I'll
how you
show
do
you
it.
how to do it.
I'll show you. And he'll do it and he'll be like dribble coming all down his mouth and that.
Do you think that's more like a culture thing, like the English culture style of play?
Yeah, it was all guts.
At the time,
It
innit?
was all guts when it guts and glory.
the time.
Glory,
There
yeah.
was
Wow.
there was no. If you look back at even the English like national team, it was all guts and glory when they had really good technical players. You go back to the Gerrard, Scholes, Lampard, and they couldn't make that work because they were too blindsided
And I
about
think there's
the
too
English way.
fixated on
The
is it
English way.
4-4-2 as well, rather than trying
Yeah.
to reinvent the team around the players you had available.
Yeah.
I
But
get
that's all the new 4-4-2. They don't know.
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
4-4-2, man.
So Scholes go on the left. Go on the left.
Yeah, didn't make any sense. It's true because I think because I'm not far off yourself age, and it was pretty much that coming up as well. It was a lot more. If he was too skillful on the ball, it was pass it or get
Yeah.
off. You're not doing the route one,
Yeah.
big man, little man striker kind
Yeah.
of thing. It was
Pesky
I like
Owen.
that.
Okay.
Crazy.
So first team contract signed now. Was you training with the first team prior to that, or?
Yeah, in and out. I used to train with the first team. Like, I
Okay.
used to get called up to train with the first team. And then once I signed my contract, I was with the first team.
How was that first training session, like officially?
Because I'd already trained with them, it was quite an easy transition.
yeah,
sort
okay.
of thing. But obviously, the first time you step up to the first team, like
Bit nervy.
there's just that.
How old was you when you
feeling in
first trained with the first team?
Probably about 17.
Okay.
Okay.
Was anyone that stood out, like if in the first team where you thought, whoa, like starstruck a bit?
Marson was there, and I know he was at the end of his career, but I've never seen anyone manipulate the ball like him. Like, he could pick you out as a striker. I love
Yeah.
to be on the pitch with him, and you could just see how he played at the top. Do you know what I mean? With his the way he could manipulate the ball, way he could pick a pass, and
Yeah, it was different grade.
was-
Merson was.
outside of the foot, never used his left foot, just outside of his right foot. Like
Yeah.
Was it Kyle
Kyle
Lightbourne?
Yeah, he was there.
Nah,
as well.
I'm showing my age now.
Yeah.
He was
90s baby.
You're gonna have to go back and do your YouTube. Now, Karl Lightbourne. Then I remember he had a run in. He was a quality player.
Yeah.
For that level, yeah. I always remember him growing up.
Okay. Now, did you manage to get any starting
I've
game
s-
time?
I started, I think, a couple of like, I don't know what the competition was called back then. Johnson, Payne,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Checker trading.
Checker
trade.
So it's going now. innit?
Into Toto and that.
I started a couple of those games, and then I had a handful of substitute appearances in like the championship at the time. I think. It
Yeah.
was, but nothing.
What was your official debut like? Like, how was that feeling?
Obviously, couldn't think of anything better to do. Like, it's always been a dream of mine. So, nerves through the roof. What made it worse is that the kit man forgot to do my shirt.
Oh, nah.
So he's got my. I can't remember what number it was. I think I was 22 or something like that.
This your official squad number?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had a
So-
marker pen.
Tipex.
What?
So I was like, you should
Nah.
have just left it. Like, but obviously I didn't say that. I'm thinking in my head. So on top of my nerves, and I'm coming on.
Yeah.
I've got this top with Tipex, my name Tipex on. So I'm like,
Yo, what
I don't
kind
even want to go on.
Have you still got the shirt?
Yeah.
I need to see that shirt,
Yeah,
man.
you're gonna have to put that up on the socials, but we need to have
T-Fix, you know.
Tipex. So obviously, as soon as I got on the pitch, I kind of forgot about it, just running about, kind of a blur. And
Can you remember who it was against?
not really. I think it might have been Gillingham, I want to say, but I can't remember. I know that I did play against Gillingham for Warsaw, but I can't remember if it was that.
So was it
that
at home?
At home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember kind of it just being a blur, and my first experience of first team football was like, this is hard, man. Like,
How long did you actually play?
probably like about 10, 15 minutes, if
Yeah.
that.
How's that first touch when you come on?
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My
Yeah.
touch,
Yeah,
my
it's-
touch was never.
that's never been a
too,
problem.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I thought the
I
nerves
can, I
got the
can
best
vouch
here.
for that.
Okay. So from Warsaw, yeah, you done a few loan spells.
Yeah, I went up to. I can remember that there was a few Scottish scouts come down to watch us play on a practice match at Lillyshaw. That's where we used to train. And one wanted to take me out on loan, and I knew that it was far, obviously. First time away from home, but
Yeah.
I just thought it was the right thing to do. I wanted to play football. First team football, I think it was League 2, Raith Rovers. And to be fair, I loved it. I got up there, away from home, away from my friends. and
Yeah.
just
Culture
kinda-
shock.
Culture shock.
Out your
Haggis
comfort
and
zone
that.
as well.
Yeah,
Deep fried Mars bars and them things.
there was, yeah.
Iron brew.
I never tried.
Iron Brew.
Fair iron. Nah, but like the manager up there was some Spanish guy, Calderon, or I think his last name was, and he liked to play football, so he played me, and I think I finished top scorer in that season, and we got promoted. I come back, but they got promoted, and so I got like my first medal as well.
Nice.
So yeah, great experience, and something that I would
How old
do
was you at
again.
the time then? Sorry, Cole. So
I can't
17,
remember.
18.
Probably about 19, 20 maybe.
Okay.
So from that experience, would you advise these young players to go out on loan and try and get first team football, no matter where it is?
Absolutely. Like I coach now, and I always advise any kind of player that's gonna go into first team football or whatever to go and play. Like, go and play. You have to go and play. You learn when you play. You learn to deal with coping strategies and things like that. Even just what to do before a game.
Yeah.
Like
Preparation.
how you're gonna prep the night before and things like
Yeah.
that.
It's not just
All
wake
those
up and
different
kick ball
things.
anymore.
Yeah, So you can't teach someone that. You can't coach someone that. They have to find out, because what I do is different to what Chief will do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. You have to find your own way.
Okay. So from the loan move on the way, you went back to Warsaw,
Yeah.
and then where did it go from there? Did you get into the first team or?
No. I think Colin Lee was the manager then.
Big Colin Lee.
Big Colin Lee. So I did well at Raith. I thought I'd come back, hopefully get a chance. I don't know if I come back and Graydon went or Colin Lee was already there. Either way, Colin Lee ended up releasing me.
Can you remember the reasons he gave?
Didn't really give me a reason.
Just
Just
said in a
said
bit.
like, yeah,
In a bit.
you're not gonna.
That's what one
You're
of
not
my
gonna get another
questions was, to be
contract.
fair, is if you had like a transitional manager period, if like you said you was away on loan and you come back after scoring all them goals, then
Yeah.
for me, like your expectation would be kind of like, I want to at least get
Yeah.
a look in.
And the thing is, when I got released, I think within a few weeks, so Colin Lee must have been there for a while. I
Okay.
think he left,
Yeah.
he got sacked, and Merson took over.
Yeah.
And at that time, I went on trial a few places and I ended up at Carlisle. But Merson was calling my then agent, Cyril Regis, rest his soul,
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Big Cyril.
calling him saying that he would have signed me and he would have played me. Because at that time, all my friends that were still there were playing.
Yeah.
Under Merson was just playing all the young lads.
Mm-hmm.
I was having an absolute jolly up. Like, just playing everyone. Like, honestly, like,
Yeah.
ridiculous amount of young lads just played.
I remember Merson first took over.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So it's one of them that I always say in football, the time's got to be right as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can work hard, you can be sacrificing left, right, and centre, but if the time's not right and you don't have that luck,
Yeah.
it's one of them.
Yeah. Do you feel like you need a bit of luck to
Oh, absolutely. Like,
your moment?
yeah, you have to have a bit of luck, but then you have to take it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the rope of opportunity to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, definitely.
Okay. So at Carlisle, how long did you spend there?
Conference season, League 2, and League 1, 3 seasons.
Okay. Would you say that's where you enjoyed
Yeah, that's
the
where.
best years of your football, or?
Oh, definitely. That's where I kind of found myself, and I had a manager who believed in me, and he would play me. And it was one of them, my first full season in professional football, even though it was in a conference. and I played like all the way up until probably Christmas, just after Christmas, and then I lost a little bit of form, and then I got dropped. And when we went to the playoff final, I didn't play, and that was one of them big kick up the backside for me. And it was like, I can't let this happen. Like, this can't happen again. And again, it's new experiences. I'd gone from playing week in, week out to then sitting on the bench, and this is what I try and preach to all footballers, is that you have to deal with these experiences, the different hurdles that come and things like that, because you don't know how you're going to react mentally, physically, like just things like adjusting your diet and things like that, because you're not playing as much. And like, I didn't get taught that. I didn't get taught that when I was younger.
And was that fairly new as well, I suppose, the whole dietary element of football?
Yeah, like we got told to eat pasta, that's all. Just eat pasta and carbs and bread and
have that
egg
energy.
and beans. That's it.
Yeah, because we used to get told to drink, was it Lucozade, like fizzy Lucozade before games, and then you'd run out and you get bellyache, and you think, well, I got bellyache, I just told me to drink Lucozade. Yeah. Crazy.
We got told to chew gum while you play, so you lose weight.
What?
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I never heard that one.
Facts, that man said you chew
I did
gum.
know a lot of teammates that used to do it though, but I
They
was,
say it tricks your stomach into thinking that you're eating, but you're not.
Yeah, because when you chew it, the more you chew, it tells your brain just obviously.
But it just gives you
Yeah,
gas.
I know that.
Crazy, yeah. But again, it
How
could
can
be
that
old.
be effective?
This is it. But again, this is coming from the old Guts and Glory days where they think they know stuff, but they haven't got a Scooby, have they?
Exactly. What I wanted to ask you is, can you, I don't know, picture a time where you thought, this is challenging, and then something you did to overcome that challenge in your career of football. So something that you found like it was particularly difficult, like not playing in that cup final, and then you decide, you know what, I need to change to. Can you like?
I'd say that there's been many moments, like a lot of it's downhill in football. Like if you're not at the top in the Prem, it's a lot of it's like a lot of downs. But early on, before I was a professional footballer, I can remember being like under 15s, and in my year there was this striker that was always seen above me, and everyone knew it, and he knew it, and it was like, because he'd been on trial at, I think it was Man United, then he's automatically in front of me. I don't know if it was a coach that had a word with me, but the under 15s, it was like something just dropped, and it was like, well, I know you're not better than me, so I'm going to show everyone now.
Yeah, show and prove.
And it ended up that I had a more successful career than him, and that wasn't my driving force throughout my career, but that kind of under 15s, it was like a
that epiphany moment.
It was like, well, I'm either going to be released at the end of the season, or I need to pull my socks up and just give it everything. It wasn't that I wasn't grafting, it was the belief more than anything.
Okay.
And I think throughout my career, I suffered with that at times, 100%.
Okay.
And then that playoff final,
moment,
because after that, when we got promoted, we had a big party, and I told the manager, Paul Simpson at the time, I was like, give me number 10 next season and I'll be top goal scorer.
Was that 05, the playoff final? I've done my research, it's 05. It's 05.
It's a long time
he
ago.
already asked it so he could show off his knowledge.
I'm new to media, so these are unworthy of my spot.
My note says
My note says
Okay. Who would you say is the toughest opponent you faced?
I always used to say Joleon Lescott when I played against him when he was at
Wolves days.
Throughout the youth team. I just found him difficult to play against, man. He was big, he was strong. Like
Wolves always had a good setup as well. Wolves' youth setup was quality.
Wolves had some good players, so you just never really had a touch of the ball, and it was like you're just running about. 100%, I always say Joleon Lescott. Apart from that, I got to mention Chief, innit?
You don't have to do anything.
Nah. Obviously, I only played. Was it just the once that I played against you?
I don't even know.
When
Couple
you
of
was at
times.
Torquay? Couple of times.
I think it was 2. I don't know.
But I always said to PC that even the first time I met him, I said that he's got everything, and the only thing that's going to let him down is himself.
That's definitely not the first thing you said to me. I remember it clearly. 'Cause I think like I must have like stepped on his foot on accident or something. And he
Accident
just
on
called.
purpose.
No, not even like that. Like, because at that time, I don't think he was in the team playing. He was at Notts County, innit?
Yeah.
So he weren't playing at the time. So I don't know if he was just vexed that day or whatever. But man stepped on his foot on accident trying to get the ball and that. And I was like, I can't say on air and what he said.
Yeah.
Big oaf. Like, bro, like, my bad. Trying to get the ball in there. And like,
Could I say, man, I had some.
and at that time, I was in a car school, innit? And who I was in a car school with used to talk a lot about this guy.
Yeah.
So they didn't really. So I think because I was with that car school, not knowing any better. Obviously, I'm just got there.
Yeah.
I think he kind of thought like I was like them.
I
And
actually
then,
forgot about that. You know.
Thought he was ups.
nah.
Yeah.
Basically,
Basically.
but then obviously he became my mentor.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever told him that, but he's the guy that basically like has shown me the path that I should be taking, what things I should be, how a pro should live is how he lives. That's why he's still in great condition now. Just turned 40. Man bodybuilding and all them things there. You know
Yeah, man.
what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, man.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
that's
So obviously
Actually,
for me,
the
like,
second person that said that in the last 2 weeks, Courtney said the same thing. Courtney Cameron.
this is what I'm saying. Like this guy is like you've heard a lot of people come on here and say that about me, but without this guy, I can't do that to other people. So here's the reason why I do it for all these,
Yeah.
because I know how much he helped me in my career. So for me to not do it for the ones coming up now,
Yeah.
Each one
It's
teach one.
Okay.
Yeah,
exactly.
Emotionally, piercing, man.
So that's why this guy is always the big
Yeah,
dog
man.
to me.
Yeah,
No, it
man.
makes
Yeah, man.
sense, man. And then credit
man.
where it's due as well.
Yeah, that's proper still. That's official. Speaking of like condition and keeping your body in, obviously everyone knows CR7. Being able to compete at this level at that age.
Ain't no bodybuilder though.
True, I hear that.
Put on the pic, man. Put on the pic like that.
I hear that. Is that something that you would definitely like encourage the kids of today is to look after their body?
Yeah, body, mind.
Mind.
Like, honestly, it's the biggest thing. Like, without both of them, you're not going to be successful and you're not going to be consistently successful.
In
I can say
anything.
that, in
Yeah.
anything. So, I had to find out the hard way. Like, I did the things where I was kind of overweight and not in my peak fitness. But then as I kind of got educated and educated myself as I got older, which is experience and knowing yourself as well.
Yeah.
That's why I always made sure that I pass things on to people like Piercy, because I can see I don't want you to make this mistake because I've already made it for you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
therefore, do this. And I used to cook for this guy and everything.
What?
I cook too, you know.
It
It weren't just one way.
Was he vegan then?
Nah.
He wasn't, man. He was jamming on the chicken bones, man.
That was. I can't lie.
No
Man
pork
liked his
in it.
food- man
No
liked
pork.
his food. Nah, no pork. No. Nah, but he had me eating good though. He's like proper like sweet potatoes and all the brown rice and all them things as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Salmon every now and then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Proper.
Proper chef as well, man.
Yeah.
Cook up.
Make sure you shout out my planting corridor. Innit?
Yeah. It was fire still. Man can cook still. Man can cook still. Man can cook.
So with that as well, I'm gonna ask you, so if you was to have like a cheat meal, because I suppose the higher level you play, if you have a cheat meal, you definitely feel it the game after that. It probably differs the lower down the leagues you go. Would you say the higher level you played, if you was cheating, drinking, eating the wrong food, would you feel it? If not in a game, would you feel it kind of over the week or 2 weeks, if that makes sense what I'm saying?
I don't think you'd feel it like actually mentally, like physically.
Okay.
I think it'd be more mentally, so you'd be like pushing yourself even more because you know that you were out 3 nights ago, or
Yeah.
you had
Lack of sleep.
Chinese, or-
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you'd be pushing yourself, but obviously there's effect that's going to have a knock-on effect, and down the line, if you continue to do the wrong things, it's gonna end up in a bad place. But I think there's always
9 times out of 10 anyway, because there's always that one exception to the rule. Because like Hughley, for example, he used to eat whatever he wants, but still bang a hat trick in the next game.
yeah. But
Like, that guy is next level.
yeah, 100%. But if you look at Hughley as an example, if he didn't, I know that he scored a lot of goals, but if he didn't score a goal, he wasn't doing anything. Like at times, do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, I hear what you're
because
saying.
and if you imagine if he if he would have been fitter and looked after himself, what could have he done there?
Yeah.
And same with what's his name, Parkin, who I played with at Preston.
Yeah.
Mentally,
Big
yeah,
Parkin.
Big John
mentally,
Parkin.
Because he was on real Parkin, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Like,
he was sick. Like he was
Yeah.
a good player, man. But
He got good
mentally,
vanities.
mentally, when he was put on the diet and doing extra CV and things like that, he'd just gone. He
Yeah.
was like, "Nah, this is not
I heard
me.
about
This is
that.
not. I don't feel the same. Like I can't
Yeah.
play. This is how I play. I need to be just doing this. Do you know what I mean? So it has a knock-on effect. But ultimately, if you want to be top tier, you've got to do the right things.
and it's consistency as well
Yeah.
to go
Yeah,
that
yeah.
with the longevity element.
Because
of it.
you imagine if Parky would have looked after himself, yeah, initially he would have felt like he weren't doing the same things, but he would have got used to his body, and you know he could have done probably extra.
And it's subconscious
bits.
as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? Thinking that it's
100%.
not, I'm not doing what
Yeah.
I'm doing. Yeah, I get that. Makes sense.
Okay. So as a striker, I know you've got like your top 3 goals that you've ever scored. Can you think?
I saw was the one on the Insta the other day when you just chopping man out your socks.
There was one at Doncaster. Was it Doncaster? Yeah, Doncaster away for Carlisle. Ball's come to me on the left. I've cut inside and whipped it from like 20, 22 yards, top bin.
Stanch.
Yeah.
So when you say you
That's
cut
what it was.
inside, was there a defender there? And you
Yeah,
just,
there was a defender there.
so
and
you
I
chopped
just-
him out your socks.
I didn't chop him, to be fair. I just stepped inside onto my right foot and just bent it. And then what other ones?
So you saying that's number 3?
I don't know, man. It's got to be up there, to be fair.
Okay.
The one that I scored against Mansfield for Carlisle as well. Long ball over the top.
Chief, you play that game?
No.
Nah, it
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
It was
That was
in
weird.
Birmingham then.
Yeah, I was still a young pup. man.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, I was running in behind, got sent over, and I think it was big Kevin Pressman, goalkeeper.
Oh yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday, Kevin
Maybe him,
Pressman.
yeah.
Like,
He was the kit man at Scunny still.
It was on, it's on my Instagram, and I've just dinked it over him on the kind of run from edge of the 18-yard box. So that's up there as well. And then the one that I always say is the one against Mansfield away that made us get promoted into League One. It wasn't a classic goal or anything. It was
It's just
But
the
the
moment.
importance of
The
it.
moment.
the
Yeah.
importance of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that leads me to my next question. In your football playing career, what would you say is one of the best moment for you that you can remember? Whether that be a promotion or a goal you scored or a match that kind of meant the most to you.
It would be that whole season when we got promoted from League Two, and I finished top goal scorer in the league. I got players. I got
Team of the
PFA
year
Team
and-
of the year.
You didn't mention that.
0607, I got that. I'm
And
new.
I won League Two Player of the Year on the best. I was on the best 100 out the Premiership or something, top 50, I think, or something like that. So that whole year was kind of special to me. But apart from that,
What was
just
your boots you was wearing? Nike?
Nike, man, all the way.
Yeah. Lovely.
All the way.
Yeah.
You can't chop man out your socks in Adidas.
That's true. Facts.
Adidas is centre half boots.
no. I've always been like.
Yeah, I just the fit.
But then
was
again,
just
I'm chopping
better.
out their socks.
Exactly, yeah. Playmaking defender. I was more guts and glory and
Terry Butcher just wrap up your head in that.
hence the scars.
Yeah, I was a total 90.
Okay.
guy.
Yeah, man.
Total 90.
Yeah. Official things. Okay, cool. Faz, you got any questions?
For me, was what was the worst away ground you played at in a hostile environment, if you can remember?
It's a kid-friendly show, so
One that sticks out was when I was at Waif Rovers and we played Cowden beef,
Yeah.
and I got racially abused.
it sounds racist,
So-
mate.
That always sticks out to me. I
Cowden
always remember
beef.
it.
And I bet that I suppose that was an era where it was kind of, it definitely was brushed underneath the carpet, and it was, we're hearing it, but we're not hearing it, even though you hear it, kind of thing.
Yeah. I got more racially abused early on in my career than like academy football, School of Excellence football, and then that Wraith Rovers.
Did you find out? Because when I was at Blues and Wolves for a period, and that was the reason why, for me, I never ever wanted to go back to Wolves, was the parental kind of racism element of it. And it was very kind of passive racism, very kind of like, what's he doing
Ignorance.
here? And obviously, because I was the only Birmingham who else spoke in like a yam environment. Yeah, and for me, I think I was 11 at the time. Just it wasn't feeling it. I thought I preferred to go and play football with my friends than ever go back there again, regardless of how good I was or I was told I was. It was a massive put off for our generation.
That's one of the challenges. You
Yeah.
you get that now. Like I coach at Burton Albion under 15s and 16s, and we get like inner city kids come in, which is a good thing. But the environment's just something
Different.
that they've never seen.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So straight away they're losing, because if they don't just slip into this environment that they've never really been around these kind of kids and the parents and how affluent they are and things like that,
They
they're
always feel
losing
like
straight
at
away. And then you've got
disadvantage.
9 out of 10 coaches are white, so they're gonna judge them on what they see.
Yeah.
And what they see is someone who's not really mixing, who's at times doesn't follow the rules because he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's one of the struggles still.
I heard somewhere before where this, I think, again, just down to even how you talk and your mannerisms and how you communicate. I think it was a story, I don't know where I heard it. I was communicating with someone. I think even the coaches asked the young black player a question, and he's gone, yeah, you get me. I get it. And he says, like, going to the showers, you're not training. And he's like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
That just 'cause he didn't
Remember Trey?
Yeah, just about
he
to say
didn't
that.
articulate himself correctly while in that environment. And I think that's why it's important to have people such as yourself there, so where you can kind of bridge the gap and give them that level of understanding of, no, he's not being rude and he's not being aggressive. This is just him as a person coming from an inner city environment where this is how we communicate. It's passion.
Yeah, definitely. So now you're coaching at Burton.
Yeah.
How have you found that transition from player to teaching? I know it's not for everyone, but you seem to be doing well because you raised this one. So yeah, how have you found that transition?
You know.
Sorry, Papa. Chief. We got you at it.
I love working with the kids. Like the rest of it, I can leave it. Like all the nonsense that goes with football, it's still in there. It's still in the coaching. I don't particularly like that, but I'm there to try and influence the kids in a positive way. So the transition is still ongoing. Am I going to be a professional coach, like, and professional team? Have I got the desire to do it? I don't think I have, but it's not something that I'm trying to do at the moment. I'm just trying to develop myself as a person and develop my skills.
Yeah.
And coaching's part of that. But I love trying to influence them in a positive way and just pass on things that I've learned and things that I've done wrong. At the same time that they have to make mistakes, and it's a part of the journey. So the transition's been quite easy.
Yeah.
Because I'm still involved. It's my little bit of football. That's the only thing that I have for football. I do it 2 or 3 nights a week.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's literally enough.
Anything else is too much.
And would you say that is that for the fact you've spent your whole life obviously clearly involved in football, being a professional footballer as well? Does it get to the stage where it can be a bit, I don't want to use the word draining, but
It can definitely be draining.
be very
Yeah, there's a lot of, especially the era that I grew up, there's a lot of emotional abuse, like, and psychological abuse, do you know what I mean, that takes its toll. And you get to a certain age, and I got into my career where I'm like, you're not talking to me like that no more. Like, I'm not having it. Like,
as a man first before
yeah,
anything
yeah,
else,
like,
yeah.
and that's the big thing for me. It's about the respect. If you don't respect me, I'm not going to respect you. I don't care whether you're my manager. Like, I don't care. Like,
It's
because I'm just a person. You're a person. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that kind of I don't miss, and that's the reason why I'm not in football to that capacity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having coached at a first team level and obviously academy level now, what was the biggest differences that you found?
Obviously, their abilities to take on information. So you have to adapt your coaching style when you're coaching kids, obviously.
Yeah.
That's one of the massive things. But apart from that, there's similarities because you have to connect to people. So to get the best out of people, you need to have some common ground. There needs to be a connection. So that's how I try and coach. First and foremost, I'm going to treat you as a human being, and I'm going to respect you until you don't respect me, and then I might have to show you some disrespect. Just to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I've been brought up. It's not anything like, it's not rocket science. That's
tough
just
love, isn't it?
But at the same time, I enjoy being challenged. So I enjoy the kids challenging me. And in first team, if someone asks me a question or challenges me of a decision and things like that, obviously I was a coach, so the decisions weren't all mine. Do you know what I mean? So I can't tell you exactly what I think because I'm supporting my manager, who's the manager. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the difficult part as well. Like always having to back up your manager in front of all the team. Do you know what I mean? Where there was a lot of things that I'd be like, that's not right. Do you know what I mean? And I would tell the manager privately, but I wouldn't back him up in front of the players because who's gonna
contradicts.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. You are a Man United fan. Days seem to be getting better.
Do they?
I couldn't get no worse.
I mean, we've hit rock bottom, in my opinion. You can only go up from here.
Yeah, you have hit rock bottom. Just clear that up.
What's your take?
I've been there where you like
It's Liverpool.
I'm a Liverpool
Liverpool.
fan.
Oh, well done.
That's why I'm basking.
What's your take on the state of the team right now? So post Ali.
So I never wanted Ollie to be the manager because it was like he's not the guy. He did it. He was a stopgap and he did well. Should have patted him on the back. Okay, you can have a coaching role or whatever, and we move on. So even though he took some strides forward, he didn't really have an identity. He's trying to do Sir Alex Ferguson and like Mark II, and everyone who's tried that has failed. So you have to have some kind of originality and your own things because when the crap hits the fan, then you're always going to revert to type. So that's not Sir Alex Ferguson. That's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a lot softer than
Sir Alex,
which he kind of needed to be. I think he was the right man when he first came in because he needed that kind of.
Is this not what I said?
No, I consider as a Liverpool fan, I think
just because of the squad, how young, like really fragile it was. They needed some loving, like they needed that. But then they needed some tough love. So at the moment, I just think it's dire. Like there's not the right mix in the squad. I've always said it's about the group, and the group doesn't seem like it's got enough leaders in there. It's not got enough.
Also said that.
People that are gonna have a go at each other. Like I see people making mistakes on the pitch, and I'm looking at other people's reactions, and no one's doing anything. They're just looking, and like that's it. No one's like, do you know what I mean? Like giving someone a rollicking.
Like a loud, aggressive leader, but just like he says, leading in the right way.
Everyone can lead in a different way. Do you know what I mean? You can lead in a different way. Like you look back in the day when there was Schmeichel in goal and things like that, and he's screaming at defenders because they've let someone have a shot.
Yeah, Bruce was the captain.
Crosses coming in left, right, and centre now. Like, and no one says nothing. Get close, stop crosses. So, for me, they need a new midfield. They could do with a new right back because Wan-Bissaka's
on the bus.
See, this has changed vastly for me. Like not even for me, but for Man United fans from last year, Wan-Bissaka. But this is for the Man United fans that are a bit.
No, I still like Wan-Bissaka. I think he's got potential to get better. But for me, I don't understand how someone hasn't got him on the training ground just working on his crossing.
They must have.
No, I disagree.
They must have.
There's no way they can be working day in, day out on his crossing and it still be the same.
What I couldn't believe is that they didn't have a sports psychologist.
Yeah. Mourinho got rid of everyone,
like
innit?
Basic thing in football.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Mourinho got rid of the whole.
So they had one and he got rid of it.
Yeah, we had the whole scientific sector,
he just
like
scrapped
sports psychology and all that, and Mourinho got wrapped it and they got rid of it. He said he don't believe in that. You need to be fit. If you're fit, you're fit.
I think he's like the old guard kind of. I think Mourinho was the transition of the old managers into the new, but then you can clearly see now.
Well, it shows, doesn't it? He's not
left now.
He's not top tier anymore, really.
No, and that's the thing. Like football moves and it changes. So what Sir Alex Ferguson did back then,
Probably
he
wouldn't
wouldn't
work
be
now.
able to do it now with the players that come through because the generations are different. Like
100%.
social media and things like that have just killed people's interactions and social skills and things like that. So when you're talking to a kid or one of the young professionals now, he's probably on his phone. He's probably like looking at Instagram or whatever, just like all of us. Do you know what I mean? So it's changed. So you have to kind of take that into consideration. You can't just be one thing suits everything. Do you know what I mean? You can't be that. You gotta change to
it now,
you gotta be individualized and make it. Okay, this person likes this and this person likes that, so I'm going to approach this person slightly different to him because that's what I didn't like. You can't treat me the same as absolutely everyone. Like, as in, I'm a person, I'm a different person to that person. Just because I'm not shouting and screaming in the changing room doesn't mean that
It's like
I
a factory,
don't want
innit?
it.
Yeah, I used to hate that. Just because you come in and shouting and screaming, that means you care more. Come on, man.
And you
And the
got
ones
that a
that
lot
do
of
it
time.
just when the manager come in and then as soon as the gaffer leaves and they're sitting there quiet.
But then if you listen to half those players that were shouting, they're not making any sense anyway because they contradict themselves from the first sentence to the last one. It just doesn't make any sense.
Sounds like Jamie Carragher.
I don't vouch for that. He could defend no, that's what he's all about.
That's not what Thierry said.
And Drogba, but yeah, that's another thing.
Right, so where do you think predictions for United in the league and Champions League? Let's put that out there too.
Wow.
League, I think we'll get fourth.
Okay, that's realistic.
Champions League,
In a
toss
bit.
of a coin. I think we might go through this next round, but that'll be it.
Okay,
Best case scenario.
quarterfinals, tops.
Best case scenario.
I'm saying we're getting slapped.
I don't think so. You know,
I'm saying we're not going through.
It'll be a boring game. Like, I don't know that much with Atletico unless you guys turn it on. They'll
I'll be very
drain
surprised if we
life
get
out
through
of the
that
game.
that tie. I'll be honest.
let's look at some of the other fixtures.
I was gonna say, make sure you got the right one because you had the draw that was done at 12 o'clock. Completely
true.
wrong,
It's
and then the one at
completely
3.
wrong.
That's the one I wanted. I was hoping for that draw.
The PSG one.
Yeah, man.
You would have loved that as well.
Yeah,
for Messi, wouldn't you?
100%. Cristiano v Messi.
Yeah,
And that would be the last time I reckon that. Well,
Yeah, probably
it
will
would
be.
have been the last one that was all.
Because United didn't get Champions League again.
So you've got Salzburg versus Bayern. Obviously, for me, I think Bayern are the favourites for the cup
Yeah.
because they are unreal. You've got Sporting v City. I think that's the same fixture. I think.
Nah, they had Villarreal.
No, it was Chelsea, Lille, and
Chelsea,
or Lille.
Liverpool,
They
exactly
was
the
they
same,
was
yeah.
the
Yeah.
same fixture. Again, City. I think I don't really see it's their year. Like last season, I thought, yeah, this is City's.
They're never
And
gonna
then
win it, man.
They threw it away, innit?
Never.
You overthought the thought. Was
Yeah. Benfica, Ajax. Ajax are doing well.
I think that'd be a good game, you know.
Big up Ten Hag. That's who I want in next.
Same.
So we'll see. Obviously, you got Chelsea, Leo, Atletico, United, big game. Villarreal, Juventus. Juventus are totos, you know.
Villarreal win that. I think Villarreal win that.
Yeah,
They're
Juventus are
very well.
totos, you know. I watched them the other day, bro.
I ain't watched enough of them to say, so I don't know.
Without Federico, Chiesa,
Yeah, he's a problem.
they are done out here.
It's like his
Dybala,
You remember his dad, innit?
fraud.
Enrico Kid, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember his dad. I used to buy him on Football Manager and that.
You love Football Manager. You still
I
play
do.
that?
Nah, I ain't got time no more. Upset, man.
Too busy.
Inter have got Liverpool.
Come on, Inter.
That's going to be a tough game.
I'll be honest, it was in the group of death, and that group of death become the group of
Ease.
life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you're
I
confident. You're confident
They're
with that tie
flying,
then.
to be fair, at the
Confident
moment.
with that tie.
They're flying at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
had to admit,
yeah.
there's again. I said to you, I remember I've been the Liverpool fan when we were dire straits, and now I'm basking in it because it may not last.
It will not last.
Everybody has its time,
Will
innit?
not last.
So the-
Well,
the-
hold on.
the- the
When's
hate.
African Cup of Nations?
They're leaving like next week, isn't it?
And when they're back?
Never.
End of Jan, isn't it?
Oh, so they'll be back for this game, yeah?
Yeah, they'll be back.
Okay,
They'll be back in
okay,
time
okay.
for
Now they're having 2 weeks off to recuperate.
Look at the bad minders from instead of crosses.
And then I'd say the biggest fixture there, PSG Real Madrid.
I think it's a glamour fixture, but I don't think
But it
it's.
could be an anti-climax.
Yeah, I think it will be
You reckon Ramos return to Madrid?
if he even plays.
True. Messi back to do the business.
Hopefully, but like I said, Real Madrid ain't really Real Madrid anymore. So it's not really.
To be fair, there's I work with a Real Madrid fan, and he was gassing about Vinicius 2 assists on the weekend.
On fire, innit?
They beat Atletico in it.
It was on yesterday.
Yeah, 2-0. So
I'm not a big fan of him.
I'm not a big fan of him.
sold. I'm not sold.
Yeah, I'm not.
I need to see a lot more.
I think it's big boots to fill when you're Brazilian.
So I mean, he's good on FIFA, but
I don't think he even is.
he's not rated high. But he's
a
quick and he
goal
can
to
dribble
FIFA,
in it.
yeah.
So it's one of them.
He's fast and he can dribble.
Exactly.
I was saying this. I think the generation of especially football people now, they base it off FIFA.
Yeah.
Like not or highlights.
FIFA
A lot
and
of people
YouTube.
don't watch a lot of games. Like
FIFA, YouTube, and TikTok. That's it.
They don't watch football for 90 minutes.
Kids don't watch games, man.
Nah,
Like
it's
the
hard.
news.
It's yeah.
Even what
Which
I
is
do,
why I say bond the stats because that's what they're watching.
Because even what I do, somebody says to me, "But I can't you just upload the goals?" I'm like, I says, "How old are you?" I want to see the goals and that's it. But again, you can't show them anything that they've already haven't already seen.
It's a bit mad. Right. It's that time of the show. Fraud Watch. So, Carl, I don't know if you've heard of Fraud Watch before.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so any player or manager, anyone involved in football that has bamboozled the world into thinking that they are better than they actually are. Some of the notorious fraud watchers.
Dan James.
They live
Guy
on
and
there.
Dan James. I'm Bazilia. He's on there.
No.
Uh,
Actually signed Dan James. Yeah, you're right.
My two are the two Harrys every week: Harry Kane and Harry Maguire. Not
Yeah.
yeah, this season, Harry Kane has been... Can't buy a goal him.
Mine will be Lukaku.
Ooh.
Controversial.
He just injured though, man. Like, what's
So, I
going
mean,
on?
he had a good start to the season.
Not-
No, justify it, just
When I watched him when he was at Man U, and
Yeah, he's a different player.
like
Like,
I know, but that's my.
that's
I
why you
wanted
put
him
in
to do
the
it.
United Lukaku on.
hold on, Puma Lukaku or
Timberland Lukaku.
Nike Lukaku, because there was two different players. Puma Lukaku was shambolic.
I think he's overrated anyway.
Okay.
In general, I think that as
As his overall gameplay. you mean.
his overall game,
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
top
Yeah.
striker, that's why
Yeah.
he's not going to be mentioned as one of the greats.
Great.
because he's not got.
Technically,
Like for
Oh,
me,
wow.
like he has poor movement. Like his movement isn't. He's not getting away from no one.
anything shot on goal direct, I think he's a guy for that. But I think
But
technically,
if- have you noticed every time he shoots, he scuffs it? That's why
Yeah.
he goes in like
Yeah,
a lot of the
Yeah,
time. It's
when
not
he
a
catch it clean, he
hit,
gets
is it?
saved. Yeah, yeah.
So, like, obviously, you can't knock how many goals he scored, and
Yeah.
who am I to
you a
say
top
this?
striker. No, you a top striker. That's
No,
what
no,
you're that's why we're
Who am I
listening
saying
keenly.
to say
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah.
But for me, he's so overrated.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I take Harry Kane all day over him.
Yeah, finishing wise, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I get
All
it.
round gameplay. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
take it.
Well, yeah, I suppose. He to be fair, when he came back to Chelsea, I thought he was like the second coming. He's about to come to the Prem, light it up. Just been disappointed.
No, he's always been bigger. South Korea Chief in smaller teams like West Brom, Everton, and I'd say even Inter Milan as the league,
Yeah.
he would shine. But
I mean,
he's
his
placed
first
where
season
big
with
goals
us,
goes
United,
missing.
I thought he was decent.
Like, but all he's done for his whole career is score goals. So everyone automatically goes, he's scoring a lot of goals. He's a good player.
and it compensates for a lot of other.
Well, if you
short-
actually
Donny fails at
watch him,
itis.
like I'm saying,
Donny
you
fails
watch
at
him,
itis.
like Horst is saying, he's got no movement. His all round gameplay, like hold up play, and that
His
is not-
hold up play is so
it's poor
bad.
because he's strong and he's big
Gets
and,
away
and
with it.
quick. He gets away with a lot.
his touch is shambolic. It's
Exactly.
trampoline and it's Timbo.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like for a top elite player that people claim he is, like
And this is
that's why.
you're on the training ground. How many hours would you be on a training ground as a professional? Because I'm out the loop completely with that.
But that depends on the professional.
Yeah. So
No, say hours you'd have to turn up then for training. How long would that be?
be a couple of hours training session.
That depends on your manager.
Yeah.
Steve Evans, you're on the pitch for 40 minutes and gone.
But
He needs to go on forward watch as well. Fraud. Steve Evans.
Big Steve, man. Big Steve.
The fraudest of
Big
frauds,
Steve,
man.
you're on the fraud list, mate.
is he worse than what's his name?
Huh?
Donny that Blues.
Nah. Lee Clark.
Nah, not.
Nah, Lee Clark's the biggest fraud.
Oh, nah. What's
Biggest-
his name? Stevie Richardson. Is that who you talking about? That's at Albion now.
Oh, Richard Stevens.
Yeah.
He's the biggest fraud.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. But he didn't make it to first team level, so we're not even talking about him right now.
Okay, cool.
This sent his segment.
But that is, I suppose, the point is because I'm thinking if you're a professional footballer and that's your trade, that's your graft, then I think it's ideal. It's probably the best job in the world for most young men, young boys.
Yeah.
It baffles me how you don't. One thing that always baffles me is if you're one-footed. I've never understood that as a footballer because I think if you're on a football pitch, training pitch, day in, day out, you should be able to use
Depends.
both.
I think there's
feet.
some.
It depends if your left foot's messy though.
Yeah, and I think there's some
No.
exceptions like
I get
Robin.
that Robin and Messi, I think they're just they're out
Yeah.
as well. But I think I always rated John Terry as a centre half because left foot, right
Yeah.
foot, it's gone.
Mm.
Both footy players, and that's one thing I never understood.
But the thing is, when you're in football, it's a bubble. So
Yeah,
you appreciate it to a certain degree, but then a lot of people will take it for granted because so you train for a couple of hours a day, 3-4 hours if it's Steve Evans, whatever. But then you've got the whole of your day, and you're right. You should be doing something. You go in a gym, like do some education, whatever. But
You're
majority
out
of
doing
them
what
don't.
you're doing.
go home.
Do you know what I
PS5 Ultimate Team.
because you've been told, you need to rest up and do.
That's what I mean. And a lot of
that's
times
what-
as well. Sorry to cut you, but there's because it's like we mentioned about the old school mentality. The training's that intense that a lot of times people ain't got
They
the
can't wait
energy
to
to go and do something out there, physically and mentally drained. and want to just go home.
I watched that. Is it the Ronaldo documentary? Was it? What's the Carrington train? What's his name? When he used to go behind the hill to try his skills because nobody would laugh and look at him. But then he said when he's mastered, he'd come back over the hill and then show everybody up in training.
Yeah.
And I think that is like I said, it's like a mentality monster. You have to want to be, even though he's an alien. But I think even to a degree with certain players, you have to want to push yourself and push your game.
It's just little things because you can be. Look at James Milner. You can be
I
a
said it to
solid professional, have a successful career like him, and have a longevity like that by just doing the basics and doing them well. And making sure that you in peak condition. Do you know what I mean? And looking after yourself.
I rate
And
Milner highly.
to me, that should be with this day and age that you get given all this information and things like that.
Yeah.
That should be a
minimum.
given. It should be a
Yeah,
bare minimum.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's not, and it won't be because people's mentalities are different.
True.
And some people don't want to do it. They just want to go and play football, and they like just playing football.
And a lot of them, a lot of players now think they're better than they are.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
I was
big
gonna say
problem.
that was the other bubble. I would assume he was talking about, like from Lukaku's point of view, everyone's up his. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, he said it himself though. He's like, I should be mentioned with these names.
But then
really,
and does that tie in with again giving too much too soon, especially monetary wise now with what's involved with the game? Because I think if I'm 21 and I'm earning more than the manager, and I know if anyone's getting sacked, it's you before me, I'm not listening. If I don't like, I'm not listening to you. And does that kind of there's so many elements that go into it, I suppose.
I think
It's a
with
kind of two-edged question.
young lads, I think there's definitely that. If you look at the Chelseas, and I don't know any of the young Chelsea lads, but from all accounts, they're on loads.
yeah,
of
there was
money.
an article that came
Like,
out that
bare
all their
money.
wages and that in it.
Yeah, silly money.
and none of them have played a first team game. Now, what's
Well, they're all
motivating?
millionaires.
What's motivating you to play a first team game? Unless you're actually, it's intrinsic, and you know it comes from your heart, and you want to play, and you want to go and make a professional footballer.
Yeah.
Like, what have they got to actually
It's
work for?
It's like the boxing mentality. Why am I going to go run the next 5 in the morning when I'm getting out of silk and satin sheets with a model? Rather than you have to stay multi-tied. It's a I suppose a dedication, isn't
But
it?
Yeah.
again, we don't know these players. Like, they might have it. It's just that you just don't see it, and you have to question it at times. But with Lukaku, like, I don't think that's it. I think he's motivated. I just don't know if he's got the eliteness to get up there.
Yeah.
He's up there, obviously, but he's not.
Would you say, all right, where would you
Yeah.
put him? Obviously, he's not alien. So we have alien, elite, world class, top class, and then the rest.
I think he'd have to go. Being fair, and because of his goals and things like that, he'd have to go for me in the world class.
Okay.
Just because
Goals.
he's scored so many goals, and he's won things, and he's played here, he's playing there. Do you know what I mean? So he'd have to go as world class for me.
Okay. Okay, fair.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say he's top class because I think he's better than that. Just he's not his touch.
But
but
not-
he's got
not-
top class touch.
Well,
but-
not elite though.
he's got Tutu's touch, but he's got world class goal scoring ability.
He's got elite goal scoring ability, but everything else is
You say it's elite goal scoring.
goal
ability.
scoring ability. Yeah,
With,
because
like
he's done it everywhere.
Lewandowski elite.
No. His goal scoring ability is alien level. He's not even elite. He's alien with the goal scoring.
Okay.
But all around is elite. But
Okay.
Lukaku's like, yeah, he's a bit lower.
Okay. You got anyone for fraud?
Solomon Rondo.
Whoa.
I don't like. I watched him the other day as well, and he come off the bench, and I know he scored and that, but I was like literally before he came on, I was like, I don't understand how this guy is just still in the Prem, just robbing a living. Like I don't like.
Making a living, isn't it?
I went to watch him at West Brom as well when they played Spurs, and the whole game it was terrible. Like he just didn't move, just stood in the one spot, tried to wrestle with the centre back a couple of times, and did nothing.
Do you feel like the caliber of strikers in the Prem at the minute is just like
Just
either
us.
up there or it's just way down?
Yeah, it's
But
like-
could you say that for the world though, in the sense of how many strikers, out and out strikers, are there now?
I think the game's changed where we now
Makes sense.
the wingers are strikers
Yeah.
in that sense. So you've seen a lot more wide men
wingers,
do the bits, where as actual number nines, is kind of
It's a dying art, isn't it?
dying.
like the
And the
primary
numbers
goal
as well.
scorers are the wingers now.
Yeah.
And the numbers as well are obviously inflated because you can't actually tackle now.
Exactly.
Like, you can't do.
It's a
anything.
non-contact sport now.
I would never have played then if me tackling when I was back, I'd get sent off every week. Because
I mean,
there was winning the ball and taking the man where you would get a handshake.
Yeah.
and on the back,
Yeah,
man, that's
yeah,
a
You get
good
mad at the
one,
match
early
back in the
shower.
day for that.
Yeah. Now it's an early shower.
Yeah, I think the number 9 is a dying role. I don't really see an upcoming young number 9 these days, really.
Because what academy is trying to push for that?
True. Big up Reyes though.
Yeah, man. Ray's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Made the bench the other day. Didn't come on, but
Yeah,
still,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
still moving.
He's,
still
he's
moving.
doing a madness. I'm gonna watch him tomorrow still.
Yeah, man. I might come still.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Who did you have? Rondon.
Yeah.
Faz, you got anyone?
No.
Dan James.
I'm gonna have to reinvent my fraud.
Okay.
I just constantly live on Harry Kane and Harry Maguire, but there's a couple out there still.
I'm gonna say Newcastle. Did you put them on last week?
Yeah, I did. But they can go on again.
Yeah. Newcastle United for me.
No, you know I'm gonna put on there because I just don't think he's Max Aaron's, man. Like I had so much potential. For that.
Is that his fault though?
That's what I'm saying.
Is
That's
that
a bit
his fault?
harsh, man.
Nah, man.
Do you think he should have left?
He tried to.
Do you know?
Did he?
I think he's got all the abilities. He was supposed to have come to Liverpool, but,
Yeah.
but I think his reason was I don't want to be Trent Alexander's backup dancer. Probably in different words, but
So if you were a Liverpool fan, would he still be on Fraud Watch?
who? Max Aaron's,
yeah.
yeah. Because I think his potential-wise and where he should be and where he is, he's bigger than Norwich, 100%.
So because he turned on Liverpool, you put him on Fraud
Nah,
Watch?
not at all. I just think he's bigger and better than where he is now, and I think he's wasting his talent. You talk about Newcastle signings.
Yeah.
He would be a prime signing for Newcastle.
Ooh. You know, actually, thinking of Newcastle, Almiron.
I hear
Just
it.
vibes.
I hear it.
Vibes.
Just vibes like.
Like, it did
vibes,
hit
just
form a
vibes.
little bit, and he was
Yeah.
playing well, but
You know what was funny as well? For me, yeah, I watched him at Atlanta. So he was doing the madness. Him and Martinez Joseph Martinez at Atlanta, the MLS.
Quiff Martin.
Yeah. Bro, them two are unreal. Then he came over here, had a bit of form.
yeah,
And I was
but
like, oh, yeah, man.
MLS and the Prem's team.
Yeah, I know it's different gravy still, but still, like, you're doing nothing. You know what I mean? You're like Joe Linton and that.
Oh, wow.
Fraud Watch.
You know what I mean? Nothing.
Who you got, Cole?
I've already said.
He said,
but, there's a lot
Lukaku.
of Newcastle. To be fair, there is a lot of Newcastle.
Yeah, the whole board and them Arab oil money dons must be out there thinking, hold on a second. Wait a second. We're going championship next season.
I know we didn't plan for that.
We didn't plan for this.
Definitely didn't plan for that.
He's like thinking, can we buy that? Can we buy the trophy? But yeah, all right, cool. On to the streets will never forget. Chief, take it away.
Well, he gave you the whole thing, man. You
Yeah,
know
man,
this
but
stuff.
this is your section, and so
So how would you describe it over there?
the cult heroes.
A cult hero who's not world renowned. So like, Thierry is a cult hero, but the world knows Thierry. But someone like
Ben Arthur.
Adel Taarabt,
Yeah.
everybody loves him, the way he plays and how he excites the crowd. But he's never going to be mentioned in the same breath as Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
So anyone of that kind of mold.
It's a long footballing journey as well. He's going through the
I'll give you the exact wording. He said, a cult hero for football fans everywhere, but never reached Ballon d'Or level or status.
I'm going to put down the back of your t-shirt.
He's going to be full up, man.
I'm gonna have to think about that one, guys.
Okay. Have you got
Let me think.
I've got one.
one?
One of Rafa Benitez, his first signings at Liverpool, Momo Sissoko. Unreal.
The
Midfielder.
Yeah, I remember him.
And
Left footed, innit?
Nah, right footed. But we we sold him too soon, and then he went
Did you want
to
to play at PSG?
You just remind me who mine is now.
No, Momo Sissoko, but was it from Mali? I think it was from Mali. But then he went back. We bought him from Valencia to Liverpool, but then they sold him back to Spain, and then he was never the same player. But at Liverpool, him and Gerrard in that midfield were unreal. But then it didn't really matter because then we signed Mascherano afterwards, and it was
Baller.
Yeah.
But yeah, Momo Sissoko for me.
Yeah, I
was
remember
unreal, man.
To be fair, you've sparked me off now. I got a couple actually. The one that I would have put in there, but I had a bad experience with him when he was my manager, would be Paul Ince.
Okay.
I loved him as a player. Hated him as a person and as a manager.
You remember Death Ball? Remember you used to do that?
Explain that. What is that to the people at home that don't know?
Basically, he used to make, how small was it? It was like a 10 by 10 grid, but it's 11 aside, and you join in and just try and 2-4 everyone. Basically,
Yeah, he would just take you out.
So-
He just wanted people to just take each other out. That's it.
So you had no consideration for the game on a Tuesday or a Saturday. It was just
nah, he done that often
That
as
was
well.
the only time he coached as well. Just during that, and he didn't coach.
Remember, we used to do his team talks in the dark and that.
Honestly, if I said to you, Paul Ince, what would come to mind as a player and as a person? What would you think?
tough tackling midfielder. Always had his top off when he walked out of the,
Yeah,
and then
I used to do that because of Paul Ince as well.
yeah,
I can't lie, I still do it.
like take it that walk out and then. But I think he was always kind of bandaged around the head for England. Again, got some glory, but he had Tekkers to his game. But
So you'd think that he's like a little bit confident, cocky, and things like that.
yeah.
He can't have a conversation with you over a table and look at you. He's like,
He comes across like that in interviews and,
yeah.
and documentaries on him. Like he can't hold a conversation. Like can't focus.
wouldn't.
Like,
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, shout me. I'm media training, bro. You know what I mean?
you'd walk in the same corridor as him and he'd put his head down. He wouldn't even say hello to you all morning.
crazy. And he was the gaffer.
The gaffer, the governor,
The governor used to have it on his boots and that, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, because to be fair, he was the first person that bossed Adidas Predator. I'm talking about Adidas Predator was just
accelerators.
ping pong material over the front of your
I
boot.
used to love him, man, as a player. I used to have him on my wall and everything, but
Poor
just
Vince, man.
they say never meet your heroes, innit?
Yeah.
Anti-climate, like just
When idols become rivals.
Yeah.
I was going to say that earlier. I was going to say when the rivals become idols. Yeah.
Okay.
Was that sorry to cut before? Was that
Streets will never forget.
Was that the expectancy of what you held him in such esteem? So when you did meet him, was it like you didn't meet my expectations? Would you say,
Probably, but
potentially?
also just the kind of where I was in my life and my age and things like that. If I was younger, it wouldn't have bothered me, but
because you was
because I
grown
was
man.
a grown man and like, yeah, you've played for Man United, you've done this, you've done that, but you can have
There'd be some-
respect and just treat people.
There'd be some depth to him.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing,
Like, and if you can't hold a conversation and look at people in the eye, to me, you got no place being a manager. Like,
Yeah.
not at all. Because what are
Yeah.
you doing?
And that-
Really?
First,
wrong
first
job.
thing he'd do was drop me
really?
Yeah.
straight out the team,
See, I'm a
and
big
then 2 games later, I'm his favorite player.
so I'm
I
a
need
big-
to tell you a
yeah.
story about it. Remember this.
Go on.
So
I'm all ears. As we get comfy.
so he's come in and obviously just as you do as a new manager, get to know each other and bring players in your office and talk to them and tell them how good they are and wonderful and blah blah blah. So this guy is doing this, but so he's telling. So I'm telling you that you're in my plans and you're going to be here this season.
I don't know what it is.
Do you know?
Thinking all that.
Thinking, what was that for?
My bad.
Yeah, so he's saying, yeah, I want you to stay and I'm going to play you, blah, blah, blah. But Chief, he's going.
Like,
He's off.
out the door.
He's
like,
going. He'd tell you that. He'd be like, but Chief,
Oh,
I'm
I
getting
thought,
rid
I
of
thought this
him.
was actual stuff. Like he actually told me.
No,
I'm
no.
going. I was like,
So he's
I'm
not
getting rid of
lyrical
him.
about
It's news to me.
himself, but he's
He's
talking.
telling you. But then he'd get Chief in, tell him exactly the same, and then say that you're going. It's like, but you're going. He's going. Carl's going. Like, and he did that to the whole squad. And obviously,
I didn't even get a meeting, so
we were like very close as well as a squad when we like
Yeah.
there was
What,
clicks
sorry,
and that. But
what team was he at the time?
Notts
Sorry,
County.
Notts County, okay.
so I was close with Yuzi and Luke Rogers, and we all played in the same position. So, like, I'm like, oh, guys, he said he's gonna get rid of you. By the way, oh, you joking? He said he's gonna get rid of you. I was like, so that was one of the first days, and I was like, I'm done with this
Do you
guy
think
already.
he was doing that as like a knowing that we're going to have that conversation with each other, so it was kind of like a, if I put you against each other, it might raise your game. It's like a very kind of delusional way of thinking.
He did it to the wrong people.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough then.
like I said, he didn't even have a meeting with me. I just got dropped. Like I was playing week in, week out, and then he come in and say, "Yeah, in a bit, I'm going with the experience."
And then, not to go too now, do you think these are kind of the characters like Paulin? So when people are saying, black managers should get a shout and should have these opportunities, hearing these stories now, you can understand potentially why they don't. But
Well, that's not just black managers. That's
Yeah,
just
that's
we
all
can swear
managers.
then. That's just people
Fair.
who are just bad people.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
just got no people skills and
Fair.
not interested.
yeah.
in
He's not doing all of that because he's black.
bit
Well, that's the
racist.
question, Donny. You know what I'm saying? Question, Donny, black man. You know what I'm saying? Take that from Donny. Donny's on. You know what I mean? Okay. So your Paul Link, Streets Will Never Forget. Circle back to
Sorry, the sheets.
yeah.
Never forget.
So
sorry.
Paul, we rate you, man. The Streets Will Never Forget you.
Just not as a manager.
I just looked. That's what my phone was going off. Sorry. Diego Melito
Come on, Inter Milan.
Yeah,
won the very underrated striker. Won Champions League for Jose.
yeah.
I feel like there's quite a few strikers out there. In I mentioned quite a few to be fair.
You
But
must have mentioned Romario in it.
That was my
yeah,
shout.
yeah. But I feel like he's in like the limelight
Yeah.
though.
Nah.
Like
You
I
know,
think
When
like
it comes to
He
Brazilians,
don't
and-
get his flowers, does
you
he?
don't think so.
Nah, it
Not
doesn't.
not
still.
how he should do.
It doesn't. To be fair,
Okay, so you're saying like Pele's and the R9s and
one
the
Pele, Romario over Pele all day.
yeah, but I'm saying like in terms of getting their
World Cup
flowers.
ni-
One
Carl,
Pele,
we are World Cup 94.
Pele showed watch
so
what?
that USA 94 tournament was Romario on Bebeto.
Yeah.
That team was
mad.
You know who I want to put on the streets? Never forget. Remember Abu Dhabi, Arsenal. Without the injuries, he was.
He was Patrick Vieira 2.0. Like he was.
But
supposed to be the
he
man,
was
wasn't
flary with it as well.
he? Yeah, very good player.
I remember.
And
it,
then
so.
obviously injury after injury after injury. Again, Arsenal's medical team shambolic. But
They must be doing madness at Arsenal, you
That's
know.
what I'm
Every
saying.
time everyone goes there, they always get like
They need
injured
to, they
and
need to Nyam and Accra and they need to eat hard food, man. Because whatever it is, it's not strengthening them up enough.
But yeah, that's my streets will never forget.
Diaby. Who did you say?
Him and Momo Sissoko would have been
Oh yeah,
quite good in
yeah.
midfield.
Okay.
And Paul, that's a good shout for the midfield.
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
A wicked
Melito
midfield
up
three.
front, man. Sticking it in the onion bag.
Yeah, man.
Right, Carl, let's get your all-time Premier League 11 manager and formation.
It's got to be Sir Alex.
Jeez.
100%.
Ashley Cole left back.
Formation, I'm thinking 4-3-3.
Okay.
Um,
You right back.
We ain't got no goalkeeper.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I thought.
Schmeichel.
Yeah, that's what I assumed it was.
right back, I'm gonna go G Neville. I'm
Mr.
gonna
Consistent.
Yeah.
have to. And then centre halves, I've debated this one. Rio's got to be in there. So Rio's there, and then it was either Vidic, Sol. I don't like John Terry because he's racist. And
I put him in there in my one. And
Footballing reasons had him in there. You know what I mean?
yeah, so but it's got to be the partnership of Vidic and
Okay.
Rio, and then Ashley Cole left back. Midfield again, holding midfield. I was gonna go Vieira, but I'm a Man U fan, so I'm gonna go Keane in there.
Jeez.
And then I'm gonna go Scholes
Jeez.
and Gerrard in front of them.
Front three. Let's see what he does.
Just before you go into the front three, out of Scholes and Gerrard, who you picking?
Scholes.
All right, cool.
Scholes.
Cinema.
I'm outnumbered in there, and he does bodybuilding. So
Nah, I respect Gerrard, man. Gerrard was
Baller.
a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Like, and he carried that Liverpool team.
That's what his
He
back
carried
was
him.
aching, and he was finished.
Carried them. But for me, Scholes was just a magician, man. He was a magician. Front three. Again, I'm gonna have to be biased, but Thierry's got to be in there. And then I'd have to put Thierry as a left side just because I need to get some man in at top. So right side, I was struggling from a right side. What you got any suggestions, Chief?
CR7,
Yeah. that's
Bale,
one.
Robin.
Yeah,
Hazard. There's quite a few.
yeah. So
Salah.
I was thinking CR7. I also had a soft sentimental one for Beckham, just because I just love his delivery. His delivery is different, crazy.
Yeah, but if you're playing a 4-3-3, then
He's not gonna.
yeah,
He's not the one there.
Yeah.
Did you say,
So-
was it last week, would Beckham exist in this day and age? Or did
It'll be a
someone-
centre mid now,
It'll be a centre mid now, wouldn't it?
or a right back like Trent.
Trent's position's called Godly from that one.
All right, relax.
Yeah, so CR7 on the right, Thierry on the left. I know you're not happy with that, but it's my team, so deal with it. And then through the middle, again, this is definitely someone that I looked up to and I loved when they were at Man United. There's two actually, but I only can choose one. Ruud van Nistelrooy, loved him as a striker, like bad man.
Yeah.
Bag out.
Anywhere, put it anywhere in I go.
Anyway, what you want to so,
And I had a soft spot for Andy Cole. He was my boy.
Now we had a poll: Andy
Yeah.
Cole or Nistelrooy. Who was the better? Was it player or striker?
He was a better player.
Okay, better player.
Better player.
I think
Either way, he wins both. That's what I said.
I was a fan of Cole at Newcastle.
Dunno,
him and
man.
Beardsley up
Yeah,
front,
I
so-
think Cole's game went to another level when he went to Man United. Like he's link-up play and that just improved massively. Like at Newcastle, he was a goal scorer,
Yeah.
but his overall game just improved. So,
you're right.
and he was in, like, he was at Man U longer than Nistelrooy as well, innit?
Yeah, and this was there, 4 seasons?
Yeah. So for me, Andy Cole up top. But I can remember when I was at Preston, Alan Irvine showed us a video of that he showed Rooney when he was at Everton. A video of Ruud van Nistelrooy's movement and that, and how many goals he scores, like at the back post, like tap-ins and things like that. And it was just like ridiculous.
Was it the PSV season when we scored? Was it the season when he done his knee injury when he was supposed to come to Man U? Was it like 28 goals in 26 games, something stupid, and like 10 or 11 assists, like something ridiculous?
Yeah, he's a bagsman still, certified.
Yeah, because Alan Irvine was saying about Rooney that he just loved to score bangers, like outside the box.
Yeah.
He said, but you're never going to score like 25, 30 goals doing that. So you need to do this. And he said Ruud van Nistelrooy was the best at it. And he was quality, different gravy, man.
To be fair, there was one season where Rooney was just
Oh, Rooney's,
on fire with the goals. I think it was Barley Rooney.
Yeah.
He
With,
was-
was it the Total United then?
Yeah, the lasers. Yeah, he was.
Pre the hair treatment.
Yeah, he just said, Bonnet just.
do you think Rooney gets enough
I don't think he does.
love?
Nah.
I don't think he
I
does.
don't think he does.
Because to be fair, I thought that was who he was going to put up top.
I did think about it, but Andy Cole's always been one of my main, like, I used to watch him closely all the time.
Did you buy a single?
Don't like him for his music.
Outstanding.
Nah, and Andy Cole,
You remember the video on that?
Nah, yeah, I don't think Rooney gets his flowers, but like,
yeah, Rooney was unreal, man.
yeah, I don't know if it's because he's like England's top goal scorer, Man United's top goal. I don't know. Like, these things are like big achievements. Well, not for England really, because it's only like 50 something goals, but like just him as a player.
Yeah, it was
Like, you'll never, like, there hasn't been anyone like him. I mean, the old people say Gaza, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what's your views on Gaza? Because he's regarded as like one of England's most creative players ever in English football.
he was a flash in the pan for me. Like, he wouldn't be, as you would say, elite or alien in this day and age, because he didn't do it consistently, and he didn't carry teams on his back like Sir Gerrard and
He
things
didn't
like
have
that.
the character for it, did he?
No, he was, and probably because his mentality was just all over
Fried.
the place, innit?
Yeah.
So, obviously, ability-wise, he was up there, but he just didn't do it.
Did you know he was supposed to go to Man United?
Yeah, yeah. Show
And
Spurs.
then he chose
Spurs,
and then he had to
Yeah.
phone for. Now, I was actually thinking if he did go to Man United, you probably would have a whole different
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. He would have been around some different. Even Fergie said it. You screwing, he never signed together. Which I was shocked still. What he said, like, obviously he was talented and
That's what I mean. He would have made him into probably the best player England's ever seen.
yeah.
Or not, because
Or he would have been out the door quick time.
sometimes some people you can't change, innit?
Yeah, true.
Definitely right on that one.
All right, Carl, appreciate you coming on.
I've got one for him. You ready?
Go on.
I've got a question for you.
Oh yeah.
wait.
Okay.
All right, it's called Who Am I? Yeah. So, I've played with.
This is a new thing, yeah.
This replaced the quiz.
I have to try and find my slat. I have to try and find my slat in the, in the positioning. So, it's called Who Am I? So, obviously, I'm a footballer. I want to give you 4 players' names that I've played with. And if you can't get off the back of that, I will give you like an additional clue to try and find it. So, I have played with Paolo Maldini, David Ginola, Gianfranco Zola, and Paolo Wanchop. Who am I? You can play this at home as well while we're thinking.
You have to cut the,
Say the
cut
names
view
again.
in it.
So, Paolo Maldini, Gianfranco Zola, David Ginola, and Paolo Wanchop. And the reason I've said these players is because me and you are from a similar age.
Boy, onset dementia, you know.
All right, then. And the additional clue then is I've never played at a World Cup tournament.
That's not much of a clue, is it? There's a lot of players that have not played in the World Cup. You got another one?
Player-wise or clue?
Clue?
All right, the no other clues, no.
No. You guys got any clue?
I already know the answers. I can't.
You
give
know the answer?
Yeah, there was both a stop
Yeah.
as you were, to be fair.
To be fair, another clue you gave me was he's not Italian.
He's not Italian.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, it didn't help
Yeah.
me either.
Pass.
George Ware.
I wouldn't have got that. I know who Jules
Yeah.
Ware is, but I wouldn't have got it.
So I think what threw them off was the Paolo Wanchop.
The
Yeah.
one chap through me.
Yeah.
They was only at Man City together for what, six months?
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like when I started watching football properly, one chap was at Derby.
Yeah, he done that unreal. Was it solo goal against you boys?
Yeah,
Probably.
that's what, I was thinking someone at Derby. I was thinking,
Yeah. And the only reason I know he's at Derby because I went to watch Dean Storage.
Yeah. Oh, Storage was another. See, that's another Streets one.
Yeah, I was
That
just
Sturridge,
thinking that.
come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Sturridge was unreal, man. Was it a goal at Arsenal?
Arsenal have been dealt.
They've been bullied over the years. Man.
Right. Big up the sponsors. Create One Academy.
Got the merch and commentary.
Chiefs got the merch on, so merch is out right now. Beer Energy. Also, we got the live next week, Monday. So come down, have a food, have a drink. I want to see some bands.
Be very interesting.
Perry
go
Bar
through this-
goals.
Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, you know what I
Yeah.
haven't done, which they'll probably cost me for?
Oh.
The Sunday League Roundup.
Oh. Oof, we nearly missed it.
So let me go through the Sunday.
Sponsored by Sunday League.
Yeah.
Settings.
So the fixtures. Let's just do the Prem. Sorry, champ. Elite played Hampton. Elite won 4-2. So Elite are back to winning ways. VIP played Highgate. That's the game that you was at, Faz.
It was indeed. Wicked game.
Wicked. Highlights out.
Highlights at 7:30 every Thursday on the Sunday League Settings YouTube channel. Like,
Okay.
subscribe.
Cool. That one, Highgate won 2-1. So
Yeah, the superstar Justice turned up that game, man.
yeah, I heard.
Big up Justice, man.
Yeah.
Big up Justice.
Power played Glades in the cup, so I think they're now this was
In
the
the semis
quarters.
They're in the semis now.
Yeah. So they won 6-0.
Yeah, man. Good win, man. Big up Power, man.
Deebs. big up Deebs now.
Yeah,
Deebs,
man.
go on.
These do well, man.
Yeah.
That's all they needed, some inspiration. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Tough love.
Know what I mean?
Tough love.
So yeah, big up Power onto the semis. I don't know who they're playing next, but I think it's out of.
A Galactico still in it.
Nah, we lost to Glades, so we would have played
So
Power
you,
then.
You would have got slapped by Power.
Brother. Galacticos didn't have no game this weekend. I think we had a 3-week. Ballers didn't have no game.
Nah, there was all the VIP against
Yeah,
Highgate
I
game.
think they again got called off because of the pitch.
Yeah.
Beacon played BNJS in a replay due to
That's
the.
yeah.
So the first game they went to.
But was it,
They done extra time, didn't
They
they?
played extra time and penalties when it was supposed to have gone straight to
Penalties.
penalties. They lost on penalties, BJ and S did, but then complained to the league to say that it wasn't supposed to go that way for them to get slapped again yesterday 4-0.
So justice was done.
Yeah,
So you've
and
got-
they tried to commotion at the game and try and get it thrown. So
Yeah, but again,
big up Beacon.
and big up Beacon, man, for their banter. What you said, they wasted petrol, wasted everything. Just to come and get a second slap in. Yeah, man. Big up Beacon, man. Go on.
So as it stands at the table, Beacon are top with 19 points. VIP with a game in hand have 18. Ballers with 8 games played, 17 points. Highgate of 2 games in hand with 13 points. Then Elite with 9, Dingle with 9, Hampton with 9, Power with 6, Galacticos with 2.
Oof.
So yeah. But bear in mind, Hampton have played 10 games, so we've got 4 games in hand on them.
It's
So-
not points on the board though, is
It's
it?
getting spicy.
You are that is correct. That
Come
is
on, Ray
correct.
J, man. Fix up, man.
Well, I got the champ results here, so might as well go through them. So Hampton played NSA.
Go on, Shane.
Talk to me.
NSA 4-0. They won.
Okay. See?
And Hampton haven't lost, so they
Yeah.
gave them their first
Ben's
loss.
big up Ben's. Ben's got man of the match.
You see, so when I get onto a team next week, they come good, innit?
Yeah, man.
So, look,
Go on, Chief.
so hopefully Galacticos can pull their finger out and win next week.
Jesus.
James can have his say next week. This time next week.
Yeah, yeah. Real Rangers played Shirley Griffs. Real Rangers won 5-2.
Go on, man.
So-
It's the man them. Go on, man.
Yeah. Pudding FC played Solio Sporting Men's. I think they're bottom of the league.
Is Dinky back?
I don't know. Probably. It looks like it because Pudding won 12-1. Whee!
Up the pudding. Up the pudding. But if you looked at their Instagram, they was nothing but vibes at that game.
Yeah.
But vibes. Speaker out on the sideline
Yeah,
while they're
man.
scoring. Go on, pudding.
12-1. So
Big up Pudding, man.
that's a big result for them. As it stands, the championship, Real Rangers are top with 24 points. West Midland Wanderers are second with a game in hand. If they win, then they go tied for first and second. Pudding have moved up into third with 21 as well. Hampton Senior 20. NSA, they've played 12 games though, so 19 points with fifth. Shirley Griff's 18, War Orton 16, Athletic Midlands 10, Glades
League's tight for real,
4. Man on the Moon did not show up for
Fraud watch for them, man.
someone's game.
innit? Again, man. Come on.
So
Kick
yeah.
them out of the league already, man.
And then Solio Sporting Men's Lions, no points, minus 76 goal difference.
But big up them for keep coming every week.
Yeah,
Not
So-
like Man on the Moon, just
we respect it. So yeah, that was the Sunday League roundup. Tune in next week for the last game for
2021.
the 2021. And then after that, the live. So we'll see what's cracking with the cracking.
Like I said, man, those predictions at the start of the season, I want to see how them are coming.
Energy's different now. Energy's different now. But yeah, all right, cool. Carlo or Carl, is it? How do you call him? Hawley. Halls. I'll just call you Carl, mate.
It's fine.
I call him Big Dog. That's the big dog.
Yeah. Sensei. Again, appreciate you for coming on. Where can the people find you on the social media?
Can't find me, man.
Is he gone?
You're not allowed on my private thing. You guys can find me though.
any projects you got going on that you like to let the people know they can find, or
Not that they can find, but something that I'm very passionate about that I'm doing. I work in health and social care.
okay,
And I've got a residential mental health and learning disability residential opening next year, March time.
okay,
So it's just something that I'm passionate about. I've been
Yeah, man,
working
that's
in
proper,
it
man.
for the last 4 years. So yeah, that's what I'm up to now.
nice.
Big up that, man.
Okay, cool. Again, appreciate you for coming on. Give a round of
Appreciate it,
applause.
guys. Enjoyed it, man.
Big dog.
It's been a long time coming, Chief. What happened,
No.
man?
Hey, last time you didn't turn up. You want me to do?
What?
You guys,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. We'll talk off air, innit?
I'm new to this still.
So, right, that was the No Tekkers podcast, episode 63. In the bag, we out. Peace.
Yeah. Bonus stats.